Johar, good evening everyone. My name is Dilit Dhan. I belong to the Munda tribe in Jharkhand and I shall be your host for this evening. Welcome to the 8th day of Tribal Futures 2.0, a month-long online festival celebrating contemporary tribal imagination and voices, hosted by Tribal Design Forum and supported by the Adivasi Academy, Tejgadh, and Bhasha Research and Publication Center, Baroda, with GreenHub as partner in the films. The Tribal Design Forum is a community of tribal professionals, students, and change makers working to nurture and showcase the extraordinary creativity, knowledge, and cultural intelligence rooted in India's tribal communities. TDF is open to all tribal professionals and students, regardless of sector. It recognizes that designing tribal futures requires a multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary approach, meaning it is not just a space for designers or creative professionals, but a welcoming platform for every profession and specialization that wishes to discuss, contribute, and help design the future of tribal communities in India. We aim to harness our own unique ways of working and our limited collaborative resources to build pathways and honor tribal epistemologies, authorship, and dignity. The format of today's session is 45 minutes of interaction with the guest, followed by 15 minutes of Q&A. Please keep your Please keep yourself muted during the session, but feel free to write your observations and questions in the chat. Today we have Moko Koza, who is an Indian rapper and songwriter from Nagaland. He is considered one of the first rappers to introduce multilingual and folk fusion rap in Nagaland. He is a two-time winner for the Best Hip Hop and Rap at Nagaland Music Awards. He won the Best Hip Hop and Rap Artist Award at the Radio Freedom Awards 2023 and is also recipient of the Task Force of Music and Art TAFMA Excellency Award for his achievements in music on national platforms. His works have also been featured in the UK-based newspaper The Guardian, and transcripts from his song Tribally Savage have been stored in the UK's museum as a part of the Naga history. Before we dive into the session, let's hear the song Tribally Savage by Moko Koza.
Savage, savage, tribally savage, 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 tribally savage, 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 tribally savage, 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 tribally savage, savage. Bitch, I'm tribally savage. I'm a tribal boy. Bitch, I'm tribally savage. I'm a tribal boy. You cannot fuck with me. You cannot fuck with me. Bitch, I'm tribally savage. I'm a tribal boy. Coming for the land of the bamboos, motherfuckers know I don't chill like a stand stool. Came from a race of a warrior, tattoos, flows like machetes on your head, they gon' cut through. Looking on your snakes, you know that I'm a mangoose. Lifespan of this rapper short like a haiku. Pain game, self and wicked than a soul food. Kamehameha on this bitches like I'm Goku. Whoa. I'm breaking that tribally, savagely flow. You cannot fuck with me, I'm mentally cold. I only focus on what I've been told. Fuck your opinion, that's what I've been told. You chasing the pavement, I'm blocking the road. You stuck in the road while I'm rocking the boat. You painting a picture that's meant to be stolen. Defining my art, forever I'm golden. Bitch, I'm tribally savage. I'm a tribal boy. I'm tribally savage. I'm a tribal boy. You cannot fuck with me. You cannot fuck with me. Bitch, I'm tribally savage. I'm a tribal boy. Take you back with my ancestors were cutting heads with them sharp edges. Every act was a pride gesture, a warrior from a right passage. Boy from the hills better recognize. Came a long way, yeah, we paid the price. Mothers and sisters been raped, this anger keeps running through in our veins, that's why God fight this mentality, I'm in control. Causing the havoc is about to unfold. Living the legacy, bringing it home. The saga continue, the story's been told. My bloodline is savage, I don't need a bandage. I'm wearing disgust like I got it all tatted. I grew from the seeds that our mothers had planted. I'm culturally rooted and this is my force. Bitch, I'm tribally savage. I'm a tribal boy. I'm tribally savage. I'm a tribal boy. You cannot fuck with me. You cannot fuck with me. Bitch, I'm tribally savage. I'm a tribal boy.
Hello, Moko. Good evening.
Hi,
It's
hi,
great
Dilit.
to have you here with us. How are you this evening?
Hi, I am good. I'm glad to be back again. And thank you for having me for the second time. And how are you? How's your evening? How about you?
We are glad to have you back for a second time over here. So, Moko, how has your journey been in the rap and music scene till now?
I mean, no complaints. Everything that all my journey that I've been doing it since I started out until now, no complaints. I think I'm satisfied with what I have right now.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Mm, talking about your journey, like what was the exact moment you realized that your identity as an indigenous person is major to your creative role?
So like I went through many phases while when I got into music. At first, it was all about listening to Western music. There's music from the West countries, the United States, UK, and all. So I was just just listening to them, and they were talking about their culture, this and that, and me being influenced by them, whatever they were saying. But as I eventually grew mature, I realized that I also have to find a voice like how they found their voice in the music. So this is how I came to realization about myself and the music that I was doing, and this is how I basically uh, thought to myself like I think I should find my own voice. I should find my own identity also. This is how it came about.
So this is a question related to the music video we saw of yours, Tribally
Yeah.
Savage. While the colonial narrative of the indigenous people was termed as savages, in this song you wear this word with an unapologetic pride. Many indigenous youth today want to detach themselves from their culture and blend into the world. What advice do you have for them? Did you ever have problems accepting your own identity and origins at some point?
Uh, yeah. So first off, like I'm always proud of who I am. I'm always proud of where I'm from. Proud to be a tribal. And regarding that song, it it is a song. The song it talks about actually the backstory of the song. It's like this. Back in the early '90s and all, we had a lot of incident here in Nagaland where between there was a conflict between Indo Naga Indian armies and the Naga people, especially with the
Mhm.
Naga armies. So we had lots of incidents where the Indian army back in the days they tortured many innocent Naga families, Naga people, and without anything they tortured and raped our women, our sisters, and it was very brutal, very sad also, very just to think about it, it's very sad and very hurtful also. And when we were growing up, our parents used to tell us all these stories like how things were back in the days during the '90s and the '80s. So I think the song "Tribally Savage" is like more like the no we still the anger that stays that boils inside every one of us out here, when we hear about the stories, like how our uncles, how our sisters were brutally tortured, brutally murdered, and in the most unimaginable ways that we could think of. And if you also hear the stories, you would feel disgusted also how they were tortured and how they were killed. So that song Tribally Savage was more like I just had to let it out because I didn't want to keep it to myself. The on the second verse, I'll just quote the last four lines of the song. It, I wrote like, "My bloodline is savage. I don't need a bandage. My bloodline is savage. I don't need a bandage. I grew from the seeds that our mothers had planted. I'm culturally rooted, and this is my forest." So I guess the last four lines that I wrote was basically I wanted to stress out all the anger, because I had to let it out and just relieve myself also. So that song was just letting all the tension out.
Um, do you have any advice for the young indigenous people, like who run away from their identities, the tag that
Yeah.
people have given to indigenous people, like they're
Yes.
uncivilized or savages. Like
Yeah.
due to that, they want to detach from that identity. Like,
Mhm.
do you have any advice for them?
I mean, I understand like with the current changing world, everyone is getting adapted to what is going on with the world, and we are slowly and gradually we're leaving behind our cultures also, where our traditions also as we moved on as we move on in life. But at the end of the day, if we move forward in life, and if we don't take back what's back home, I mean, if that's the case, then I think you are losing your identity, like from where you came from, because you are transitioning into someone different, and then you're just trying to blend into someone's culture, but you don't have a culture anymore. You don't have your own culture, your traditions anymore. So my advice would be like, always make sure that wherever you go, you always make sure that you have your culture, your traditions is always with you. It might not, you don't have to show it physically, but make sure that you always have it in your heart, so that wherever you go, you can always tell stories to the people like, I'm from here, I'm from there. That will be my advice.
Yes, always trace back your roots.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mocha, for your answer. You were talking about, finding your own voice. So, there's a question related to that. How do you see your creative work reflecting your own story and your own voice?
So every time I try to be creative, sometimes I go way out of my mind. Also, I think about like what other people are thinking. I wanted to like think like them, this and that. But when I think back for the like, when I think twice again, I always get reminded that I might have like something creative that is going on, but I have to, whatever I'm doing, I have to make sure that it relates to something, because I can't just write something that is based off somebody I can't relate to. So everything, my creative process, it always traces back to with what I am, with who I am, everything.
Thank you for your answer. Mm, related to like finding your own voice and your own story, uh, many consider you as a voice of Naga community, right? And your songs, like as your songs call out social issues like corrupt system, economic inequality, while also preserving linguistic and tribal identity. How does it feel shouldering such an important responsibility?
I mean, it's the responsibility that I have, like as a fellow citizen in my own community. I feel like it's very important. It's very important that not only me, but all the people like from our own community, wherever we are, like it's very important that we keep on preserving our, our language, our, our culture, our traditions with in whatever ways we can, in any means. It might not just be music, but it can be like in books. It can be, different sorts of art form and different things. It's very important that we have to preserve it so that it can move forward, and we can take it and pass it down to the next generation, so the next younger generation can preserve it again, and they can keep on passing on.
Speaking of, we are we are living, we being indigenous, we are living in the modern times right now. So, how do you represent the complexity of being an indigenous person today, especially as someone living both in tradition and in modernity? How do you maintain uh, your identity between these two worlds that
Yeah.
is that is authentic to you?
Okay. Okay. I mean, just start off, with the dress that I'm wearing. This is not a cultural dress. This is not a Naga traditional dress. This is, basically, a baseball jersey. So, uh, just to, simplify it, like how I identify myself from, the two worlds. I whenever I think it starts from the simplest thing to compare would be, it will be the kitchen for me, because kitchen is where the tradition, where the heart of the home, and where the, where the culture is. Your bedroom might be different, it might have your favorite, posters of your favorite artists pasted on the wall, this and that. But when you go to the kitchen, I think you will find the fireplace. Just to say the most the best example would be the fireplace, or the burned kettle. Everything you will find it from the kitchen. And I think the house will be the best example, like the bedroom and the kitchen. This is where I am, because when I go to the kitchen, I know where I am, and when I come to the bedroom, I know where I am. But I always belong to the kitchen.
This is such a great comparison.
Yeah.
Um, so, before we move forward, we'll hear Moko's song Boy from Hills. Shyam?
Japan pere che pelo dice. Japan pere che au nan che ta me di. Japan po pere che sa ta ta o kada kha ta phen cha dom ke pa lo Japan ko ni a gu se ta ko lo khu gu za che ni ta ke phen bu bu ni lo kham na. A wo mun ta ni pa pa me la ta. Ta ko lo mo lo ta ta le le sa da ta ko lo mo pi mo di.
Japon은 붙였으니 위쪽에 로도법에 프랑스 로도법 개념이 보고 꼴려서 고등학교 가서 자판 붙였으니 군일라대 라돈사 자판이고 아파버가 가지 오바 자판군이 있음이 붙음이고 그나 또기 고서 또뭐 아토보만 나도 군도배 그거 그 자판 그 부여서 샤 있음이 그 부여서 샤 있음이 그 부여 타타뭐不中国不太傻的，是后面这个做我个小发达。
I am born naked, I am born bare. Flakes from a rock, I'm a piece that we share. Drop of a blood from the heads of a spear. This is my statement, I am very rare. Boy from the hills coming out like Jumanji. Sound from the trees making waves like tsunami. Raised from the seeds that were sown by my aunties. Grew from the soil that was stained by the armies. Roots on my past, family holds to a gory. Still being bold, marching on like I'm Gandhi. The beat banging on like a war drum, so strong. Ready for whatever, I'ma prove it cause I'm on one. Son of a hunter, I go hard like a strong rum. Land of the bamboos and the mountain is where I'm from. There were bombs going off, there were houses being burned. The whole family had to hide in the forest. It wasn't even safe when the baby was born. Mama had to feed her when the rain starts pouring. The whole year harvest went to the soldiers. The Japanese troops made camps and took over. On a meager meal, they were forced to survive. All of these supplies were eaten and dying. She never really knew how the outside was. Young and so fragile, she would get lost. My grandma told me stories that she ran away from home.
Japani, wo, tono lo, wo kejite, ni lide hina hilo, muno ke ko, muno ke lo, kavzita, dunke ni ngaiba mo, telo ta ko, tezita do.
Shook by the war, seeing people on the horse. The stories lives on through the tales in the night. She would put me to sleep singing this lullaby.
Japani, kozobomike, wokibani, tepeta, nauni, Japan talitzal. So himajoy, sonodiole, le kopa, le mulele she, shehani shehai, babu ni babu. Eko pale mato lalima chapalaye chai emalaye ai nikepuye talaso kepetale ke no ni tayo alepo akewo imama itayo hoy.
Boy from Hills seems to be so personal to you, Moko, especially it being inspired by your
Yeah,
grandma's oral
it is.
histories. How was the process of turning something so personal to something so impactful? There must have been a pressure attached to get everything right, uh, given it's such an important historical memory
Yeah.
for the community as well.
Mhm. So the process how I wrote the song, especially it started off the from the chorus of the song. It's a lullaby, sang in Tiniji dialect. Uh, especially it's the dialect of the Angami tribe. So my grandma, when I was young, she used to sing me that lullaby just to put me to sleep. And I have a very vague memory about uh, you know she singing me that particular lullaby. And it's not only my grandma, but majority of the Tinyimi people of the Nagas, especially Angami mothers and Sagasang mothers, they sing that lullaby especially to their child just to put them to sleep. So I had this idea. I always wanted to put this song somewhere, and put this lullaby in a song somewhere, and just create a song. But I didn't have any idea. I just had that lullaby. But as I was just one time I just asked my friend to create a like a folk fusion kind of like rap beat for me. So that is when he sent me a demo of the track, and then I had this idea, just talk about like where I'm from, but I didn't have the idea like the title of the song "Boy from the Hills." But as I was writing the, the title "Boy from the Hills" coming out like Jumanji, and this is how I got the content of the song, and I got the idea of like what I should write in the song, but I was little skeptical about like what should be the chorus of the song. But then you know uh, I don't know. I heard it somewhere. When I was going in the town, and then I heard that lullaby. So that eventually hit me, and then I immediately got that idea. That, oh, that should be the chorus of the song that I was writing, and this is how eventually came into life.
So we can say whenever you hear this lullaby, it takes you back to your childhood.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Talking about your childhood, how was your childhood, growing up in Chakisang Naga community?
Yeah.
Can you give us a sneak peek of life of the boy who is from the hills?
I mean, it's very,
You.
very normal. I was also very mischievous, silent but very mischievous type of kid. I I studied well. I was good in my grades when I was studying. And then I just like a very normal student, a normal boy. You know, passed this 10th standard, and then parents told me to go for science because they wanted me to be a doctor. So I that point in my life, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just obeyed my parents, and I went into science. I got into science stream. I got into science college, and then I did my PU class 11th and 12th, and then I was a little confused about like should I continue with my bachelor's or should I go opt for the competitive exams? But my parents told me, why don't you try out this? So I tried out the competitive exams, and I couldn't get it, but there was I got one opportunity for to go study for medical MBBS, but in the back of my mind, since I was born and brought up here in Nagaland, I didn't feel like going out to the cities, and it's a new place for me. I didn't feel like going out to see all the tall buildings. I was comfortable with where I was, the mountains, the small houses, and all. So maybe it was my heart telling me, just be where you are. So I continued my bachelor's of science. I completed my master's in Nagaland itself, and after doing my masters, I transitioned my my interest into music, and then full time I've been doing it for, I think right now it's 6 years now that I've been doing full time music.
Great. Thank you for this sneak peek.
Yeah, I took you on a long journey of my life, starting from where I studied till now. A short
It
sneak
was
peek.
it was a nice imagery, sitting here, like we all here at the different parts of the country. We are all
Yeah,
imagining Moko's life till now.
that was it. That's basically my life in a short sneak peek.
Yes. Um, Another question. What is the one thing you wish the world would understand about indigenous youth today?
Uh, for me, I think that we indigenous people are very well mannered, cultured, because the place where we came from, we are taught, we are learned, we learned and we are taught how to be cultured, and we are very vibrant. That's for sure. I think that's something that the world should know about us.
Yes, because there is so much, negativity and misinformation about the indigenous people
Yeah.
already in the media. So many people, especially uh, people who are new to the society,
Hmm.
like the youth, like they think that the world is not ready to
Yeah.
accept me because of the perspective they have in their head.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, what I just said was like the positive side of it. We have our negative side also, but sometimes like people from outside, they look at us, especially from like judging our food habits and the way our culture is. Some people, like, especially outsiders, they have this very bad uh, image about you know people from tribal people, because well, from what I've heard, like especially Nagas, like we are outsiders, especially when I meet people, uh, they have this uh, thing in their mind that we still hunt heads, we're still headhunters and
Mhm.
all. But until and unless they come to Nagaland, they won't know. But it's just like they heard stories from people, like because Nagas are this, Nagas are that, or like the tribal people, they still hunt heads and this and that. But after coming, like I've seen people also after coming to like our place, their whole mindset, their whole the stereotype about this and that change also. So yeah, that is also one thing. Like, please come and know it for yourself. Like, just don't judge just because you heard it from someone else.
Yes, so true. Now, now, okay, now your message for the indigenous youth, what would you like to say to the indigenous youth who don't see people like themselves very often in the mainstream media and feel like there is no place for them there yet?
Mhm. I mean, there's a very simple message: be proud of who you are, because you don't belong there. You belong here where you are. So you have to be proud of who you are, especially your identity. Make sure that your identity is well represented to the people or from outside. Just be proud.
Yes, hashtag be proud.
Yeah.
Such a good message. Uh, we let us watch a music video from Moko Koza. It is a theme song of Samagra Shiksha. Shyam? And I want to remind the audience to, while we watch this song, please, if you have any observations or questions, put them down in the chat box. So we may take them
What
after
did you
watching this
learn
music
in
video.
school today? Have you thought about who you'll be one day? It's not an easy easy road, you will find your way. Keep focused on your goals and the hard work pays. Some of us wanna be a doctor, a teacher, an astronaut, change the world, go be a preacher. You can be who you wanna be in your life, but you gotta make sure that you don't lose sight. Education is the key to success, yes. Stay in school, kids, don't be late for recess. Listen to your teachers, they only want your best, and you're gonna shine when you ace that test. To the parents and teachers, they need your guidance. Push them move forward and not stay behind us. Nurturing a seed when you plant, treat it right, they grow up strong and stand tall and touch the sky.
Nothing can stop us, can nobody never. We will be better and stronger than ever. Keep pushing forward no matter the weather. We are the future, together we'll make it.
The government is making sure that every kid stay in schools, making sure that every kid graduate from high school. Right to education is an act by the law to enable every learning's nothing just by the short. The Samagra Shiksha is a scheme by the government, providing basic needs for the students in their environment. Guiding parents to send their kids to government schools, encouraging teachers not to please proxy too. Uniforms, textbooks, and midday meals for free. The facilities, quality, and all their basic needs provided by the scheme till they reach the 8th grade, so they all can move forward and find a way. Dear students, please keep in mind not to drop out, working hard and achieve so you will stand out. If I believe I can, then you can too. Don't let anyone tell you what you can do.
Nothing can stop us, can nobody never. We will be better and stronger than ever. Keep pushing forward no matter the weather. We are the future, together we'll make it. Nothing can stop us, can nobody never. We will be better and stronger than ever. Keep pushing forward no matter the weather. We are the future, together we'll make it.
Um, your songs like Samagra Shiksha theme song and Don't You Worry, Be Positive. These are in collaborations with government health and education's program, right?
Yeah. So I've done
Just
a couple of songs. Yeah,
mhm,
I've
to
done some
spread the
couple of songs.
awareness.
Especially to spread the awareness. I've written songs for the positive impact of for HIV and AIDS. Just spreading the awareness. And that song Samagra Shiksha was to basically encourage the students to just stay in school. That is from the education department.
Yes. Like if the voice of Nanga community like yourself talks about it, then there's ought to be some like more awareness among people and today.
Really hope so.
Uh, we have another question. Uh, so you mentioned that it's been 6 years of you in the music industry, right?
Yeah.
So what has changed or not changed in the 6 years that you're practicing music?
Uh, what has changed would be like right now like if I look back, I was still asking money from my parents to survive, but now what has changed is like now I can look after myself, I can sustain myself, and I'm financial freedom. So that has changed, but also I think like I have also grown matured in my music also, like what I was thinking back in past 6 years, what I wanted to write. and right now what I wanted to write, what I want to write. If I compare it, like I think like I've also grown more mature in my ways of thinking. Like when I want to write something, yeah, that would be it.
Then what about, any visible changes in the music industry? Like when you started, things were very different, and
Hmm.
like something has changed for good, for better or for worse in the music industry?
Yeah, from what I've noticed is like especially out here in Nagaland, what I've noticed is the musicians especially have become more and more professional how they approach their music also, and not only the music but how they approach people from outside, like how they like now they have their own manager. They don't directly talk to the event organizers, but they have their own manager. So this is the professionalism in what they do. This is what I've noticed, compared like 6 years back and 6 years now. I this is what I noticed, the professionalism in the industry.
We have a question in the chat box from Shyam. He asks, have you performed Boy from Hills outside Nagaland to to place like metro cities? What was the reaction of the people?
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to perform that song back in 2023. Like Ayushmann Khurrana was the main chief guest in front of him, and I had the privilege to perform the song in Mumbai. And I performed this song, two songs, Boy from the Hills and Nagamanu. And he was, that time he also released a movie and his co-star was a Naga actress, Anik, if you have watched the movie. So he was well aware of the Naga culture. And after I performed, he came and just greeted me very well, and also spoke to me in Nagamis also. And I think he was very bit familiar with the Naga culture, so it was a privilege also to perform that song.
Thank you for your answer. Thank you, Shyam, for your question. Um, when you for your music video, you interacted with young children. The Samagra
Yeah.
Shiksha theme song. You interacted with young children. Uh, what what did they what do they ask you? Like
Uh,
your interactions with the
yeah.
young children during the shooting.
Okay. So no, kids are kids, they didn't they didn't know what to do because they saw those cameras. So I had to be the one before like the recording started, the shooting start. I had to tell them, you have to be like this, you have to be like this, and you just pretend that you are talking to me. I'll talk to you, you reply me back, but don't look at the camera. Make sure that you don't look at the camera, and also don't smile. Just pretend that I'm talking to you and I'm asking you a question. You can ask me anything. So while the camera was, the music played and the camera started shooting, I asked them like, "What is your favorite color?" This and that, and then they also asked me, "What's your favorite food?" So it was just very random conversation we were having.
So, were there any visible challenges, that you noticed that they were facing?
Uh, so I should say like especially the government schools, the government is pushing uh and doing a lot of things, especially for the government schools all over India also, and then with all the facilities and all the free uniforms, free textbooks and all. So I think back in the days, if you compare it, it was very bad, like very bad. But as compared to now, I think the government is also like making sure that every government schools have the right facilities, and also the teachers, very important. The teachers, the staffs are very well educated. So the issues, I should say that they need more infrastructure, more buildings, more colleges, not only just limited to a primary school or middle school. But I think that is one issues I noticed.
Yes. We have another question in the chat box from Simon Tudu. Your songs are very emotional and inspiring. Any memorable moment for you during any performance or during any performance on stage or any backstage moment?
Okay, so I had many emotional moments, especially like when people are when I'm performing and they are not just listening to the music, but they're into the lyrics of what I'm saying. You know, they're into the song and they know every word that I'm saying. And I've had a couple of instances where they cried, while I was performing also, and they cried, and they came in after backstage also. They come and tell me that when they were in a very bad phase, my song could help them, uh, help them move on from that very dark place. All of that stories, when I hear and I get messages, emails and messages on my social accounts, and they used to text me like, thank you for your music, this and that. So all of this, makes me want to do more and make more music.
Yes, for an artist, that must be a truly rewarding moment
Yes.
when when people come and tell you that your songs are helping them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Thank you, Moko, for your answer, and thank you, Simon, for your to do. Uh, Thank you, Simon, for your question. I hope that answered your question. We have another question from Anupam. You are inevitably researching and finding out more about yourself while writing your music. Do you also do you also do it consciously? Try to find out about your culture and history?
So, yep. It it is like very consciously, like I do that also because even for me, like I was not taught well, like about my culture when I didn't knew about like what happened 10 years back. I mean 40 years back, 50 years back. My parents, they told me, maybe they told us some of the stories, but not everything. So I have to research. I have to know like what happened, or like what is this, what is that, why is this here, or why is this. So I try to go through a lot of books, like from very popular Naga authors. They are very well versed with the Naga culture. They write everything in the book. So I also try to like feed my mind with all the things and get especially talk to elder people, know know their the stories from their time. This is how I consciously feed myself with all the stories, and this is how I am aware of my culture, how I became aware of my culture. Yeah.
Like through all this searching and researching, like you're in like it's also through your songs, it's also helping preserve the stories from
Mm.
our elders, from the community. Yes. Mm. There's an observation from Sham Mono. He says, I get my eyes teary each time I listen to Boy from the Hills. Thank you so much, Moko.
Oh, welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
We have another question in the chat box from Sankita Burman. When you shared your dream of pursuing music with your family, in what ways did they encourage and support you? And were there any challenges you had to overcome on that journey?
Yeah. So my parents, they have always been supportive of my music. You know, during back then when I was in college also, because I never flunked. I never had any bad grades. So my parents, even though I was doing my music, balancing my music with my studies, they knew that I was doing well in my studies in my college also. But the turning point came when I, completed my masters. I had to give them the big decision of my life. They thought that they wanted, I was supposed to prepare for my, the competitive exams and all, prepare for all of that exams. But I had different plan. I had a different plan in my mind. So I took the courage to, just talk to my parents very openly also, and I told them like I really want to go for this music thing that I've always been doing, and I want to do it full time. And I know it's not gonna be easy, but you know, with time, I would I would also try, and then I would make sure that I do it. So the only advice they gave me was my mom. He told me like you are not a young kid, you know what you're doing, so make sure that whatever you do it. If you can't, just don't do it. So that was the advice she gave me, and then since then, I took a huge risk also because music was, it was one big of a challenge because just starting off going full time music and you don't have any shows. You try to get your music out there, but you have to not only make music also, but you have to earn also to sustain yourself, put food on the table. So that was initially that was one of the biggest obstacle I had to face. Just trying to know people. Just trying to network with people and trying to get my music out there. Make sure that people know me through my music, this and that, and they would call me for a show. For it, even I started off performing for free, for very less amount, this and that, because I had to, get myself out there. So those were the few challenges that I faced, during my career.
Yes. Thank you, Sankita, for your question. Uh, I have my personal question for you. So,
Yeah.
amongst your discography, which song is the most you, like the most Moko?
I have a song called Keep On.
Hmm.
It's called Keep On. So it was written in back in 2015. So that was one of the, I should say, I still listen to this just for motivation sometimes whenever I face writer's block and all. I feel down because that was a time, uh, is that okay,
Uh,
okay. Anyways, so that was the song uh, written in 2015, and that was up that point in my life when I really wanted to, I was still studying, but I really wanted to, just make it in the music scene. I really wanted to be a musician. I really wanted to, just be up there with all the motivation that was going on. So with that intention, I wrote that song, and then yeah, it's still is very close to me. I always, whenever I find the time just to motivate myself, I always listen to that song.
um, it is the last question of the day,
Yeah.
and it's from Anupam. He asks, any subject that you are currently working slash and researching on that you would like to share, like some tidbits.
Okay. So no, I am writing many songs. I haven't released like a song like a proper song in a while, but I'm just making sure the song gets released in the right time. But one thing I would like to just share a bit is like I'm trying to like go deeper into the the especially the culture, our Naga culture, so that I can dig deeper and get a very proper story. And then not only through song, but also I'm trying to make sure that these days it's not only the audio that is very important, but it's the visuals that is very important right now. We're living in this generation, so I'm also trying to make sure like the visuals are very different from what I usually do. This is how much I can share right now.
Um, a clarification. That was the second last question of the day. The last question
Okay.
is from me.
Okay.
Uh, like, did you face any challenges, as an indigenous person, in the mainstream media,
Mm,
uh, an indigenous rapper and songwriter and a musician especially?
yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you did you sometimes feel sidelined because of that?
Of course, I do feel I feel that way because especially in Nagaland and some certain parts of the northeast area. We're not very fluent in Hindi, and then of course we understand Hindi, but I can speak Kacha Hindi also, but I can't speak that proper Hindi when you go to the mainland. So I think one of the biggest challenges was the language barrier because Hindi, as we all know, it's majority part of India is all Hindi, and we have a very small market for English songs, and then our local language is very confined and it's very limited. So the biggest challenge that I face, especially in the media, the industries, the language barrier, just to break through. Maybe I could have had that opportunity to maybe go mainstream also, but just because of my language that I speak, that I choose to speak, that I use was one of the barrier. Because I'll just share a very an incident that I faced. Back it was back in 2000, I think 20 or 19. I also got a call from the MTV Hustle just to to audition. Their casting team members, I don't know how they found my number, but they called me up and they say they wanted me to be a part of MTV Hustle and told me to audition. But what how everything went from here to down was, I told them I I don't do Hindi rap. I can only I only write English rap and my own local dialect. So they say that, okay, I'm so sorry, we're actually looking for Hindi rappers who rap in Hindi. So that was one of the instances that I faced because of my the language. That was one of the challenge. Yeah.
But still, Moko, like even if the pool is small, but I hope you all the I hope I wish for you like you keep growing because uh, your music is not only limited to Nagaland. Like even me here sitting in Jharkhand, I
Yeah.
enjoy your rap and your music so much, and
Thank you.
it
Thanks a
it
lot. Thank you.
also it may also be because I'm also an indigenous person myself.
Mm, yeah.
So yes, yeah, yeah, you're doing great.
Thank you. Thank you. Means a lot.
Anupam says, all the music videos are so good. It's only upwards. Upwards from here. Congratulations, Moko, and all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you, Anubham. Thank you.
With this, we come to the end of our session with Moko Koza. Thank you, Moko, for such an insightful and fun session.
Thank
The
you.
way
Thank you
you
so
take
much for having me.
the way you take a strong stance for the causes you believe in and upholding tribal pride through your music and art is truly an inspiration for all of us here, especially Indigenous youth. We wish you all the very best for the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Before we close the session, allow me to tell you something about our upcoming sessions. Tomorrow is the weekend, and on weekends we have two sessions. Join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. We will meet Tawfiq and Karamat Ali, GreenHub Fellows from the One Gajjar community to learn about their filmmaking experience while filming their film Birds and Buffaloes. At 4 p.m., we will meet Frida Larios, Dida Gatpo, Desna Vanga Sholem, and Sudhir John Horo, four voices from four lands of El Salvador to Meghalaya and Aotearoa to Tejgadh, as they come together for an interactive discussion on indigenous visions for the future. The event calendar for the month-long Tribal Futures is up on Tribal Design Forum website. You can choose to attend sessions of your liking to discover the world of tribes in transition. There's an update on ongoing TDF registrations. We invite one and all students and professionals, tribal and non-tribal, to join Tribal Design Forum as a member or a Patreon to partake in designing tribal futures. Please visit our website tribaldesignforum.com for further information. Once again, thank you, Moko, as well as all the participants for taking out your precious time for joining us this evening. See you tomorrow for the upcoming sessions.
Thank you.
Johar
Bye, everyone.
and have a great evening ahead.
Have everyone good night.
Good night.